Dr. Pete, you've talked about metering. Exactly how is it done? So I'm going to do a bit of a demonstration for you on how to do a finger stick and get blood glucose and ketone data. Firstly, make sure that you've washed your hands with warm soapy water and you've rinsed them to the point where they are literally squeaky clean. I know that you know what I mean. When you rub one finger on the other under the water, that one finger sticks to the other, sorta, and it's squeaky. You need to make sure that your hands are super clean. Those of you that like to use hand lotions and things like that, any food that you've handled can literally skew the results. So make sure that you've washed your hands, once again, warm soapy water, rinse them so that it's squeaky clean, and then dry them using something, a towel or paper towels is usually what I do, and you're certain that those are clean so that you don't skew results. All right, you're not going to see me, but you're looking straight down at my blood meter, the Keto Moho. Let me just pick it up. You can get a closer look at it. All right, and then I have the lancing device itself that does not have a lance in it. I'm doing this on purpose. This is going to be a little bit tricky, but here's the actual lance, and it fits inside. All right, and when I put it in, and this is pretty true of all of the lances, this one's actually pre-cocked. But you can see in the little window there that it's yellow. And then I'm going to twist this protection mechanism here and expose the little needle. Hopefully you can see that. And then a covering goes on over the top of this. All right, and then it just locks on. All right, and I've got both my test strips for the glucose and the test strips for the ketone. Now, I've already washed my hands and they're squeaky clean, so I'm going to get myself out a test strip for the glucose. And I'm going to prepare and get a test strip for my ketones. All right, and so that I'm ready to go. And I have a fresh tissue here to the side. Now, whoops, I got an extra glucose strip here. I'll just set it back on top of the thing. So what I'm going to do before I prick my finger is go ahead and insert the glucose strip. And most of these meters have in common that, I think you can see this, once you can see a little blinking drop of blood at the top, and that means the meter is ready to go. So I'm just going to set it down now, and then I'm going to do my finger. And I think I'll do my middle finger. It may take you some practice to figure out where and which finger is going to work the best. And then I'm going to push out a droplet of blood. And I like to get a pretty good one there. Okay, so backing up, I'm going to go slightly off to the side on my middle finger. All right, and then I'm going to push blood out. I've got a pretty good blood drip coming. And then what I do is I'm going to set my hand down firmly on a table so I have stability. And then you bring the strip in, and remember that and this is true for most meters, I think, there's a blinking to you there. I don't know if you can actually see. It looks like a drop of blood. And then we touch the tip to the drip. And while I'm waiting for that to come up, and you can see I just had breakfast not too long ago. So my blood glucose right now is at 90, and I ate about an hour ago. So I'm well within the range I should be in. All right, and I'm trying to do this demo. So I actually would have already squeezed another drip of blood from my finger, and I would be in the process of already doing the ketones. But since I'm talking to you, my finger stick already coagulated, so I'm going to do an additional one now. This is not what you have to do if you get it together every day. You can just do it off of one finger stick. So I just did my other, my index finger, and you can see I got a nice drop of blood going again. Again, on the meter with the ketone strip, you can see the little drop of blood that's blinking there, so I know the meter's ready. And again, I stabilize my hand on the table, bring the tip of the strip in and just touch it to the blood drop, and then you're good to go. All right, and you will be able to see my ketones in a minute. Boom, 2.2. All right, and so that's how I get my data. The fasting blood glucose and 1 hour, 2 hour after meals as an example, or for that matter, any other time you're curious about what's going on with your blood glucose. In finishing, let's talk about the ranges you should be looking at. So for your fasting blood glucose in the American units, you should be between 66 milligrams per deciliter and 99 milligrams per deciliter. I shoot for the mid-range in terms of my own ketogenic lifestyle. Sometimes I can be in the 90s, and when that has happened, I almost every single time can point to the night before getting some extra carbs accidentally in the meal, or I've had a really bad night of sleep, which seems to be the thing for us older people. All right. Now, what about testing food? So, and I just actually had a conversation with one of my clients about this very thing. So how do you test a food product? All right. So you're going to eat something for the first time. You haven't tried it yet. So what you're going to do before you eat the stuff, you get it all set up. You got your plate ready to go. The food's there, and you're going to eat it in a second. So what you do is you slip away. Wash your hands up really good. And then you're going to finger stick. And you're going to test and record your glucose and your ketones. Then you're going to go back and have your meal with the food that you're testing. All right. And at the end of that meal, after you literally are taking your last bite, you look at your watch and you record the time. All right. Then at 1 hour, you finger stick again and you take down the glucose and you take down your ketones. Your glucose, if you're in good condition, right, metabolically, should be under 140 mg per deciliter at the 1 hour. And I've set a rule for myself. I'm like, dude, 140? No. All right. I want to be 100 or less at the 1 hour. That's my rule of thumb. Sometimes I'm a little bit over that, but I'm pretty strict about this. And then at the 2 hour, you should be 100 or less. All right. Sometimes the protein that you eat in a meal can push the glucose curve out. So just so you understand, you can test the 1 hour and come in at a beautiful number, right? Like less than 100 sometimes if I've had a protein majority meal the night before, or I mean moments before, right? An hour before. And then what you'll see is the 2 and the 3 hour values can be higher. All right. And that's a normal pattern for me. And you're going to have to look yourselves and see what your patterns are going to be. And this is why I've been emphasizing that you need to be doing the testing, right? So that's how you do a food. You test before you eat it, and then at 1 hour and 2 hour, both the glucose and the ketones. And you can tell, you're going to see right away if you got knocked out of ketosis. And if you did, it's obvious when the number comes in at 0.5 or less, right? You want to be between 1 and 2. That's what I always shoot for, between 1 and 2. Get there, stay there, fat adapt, and the lifestyle belongs to you.